So we have yet another good presentation coming up by Mr. Ravi Kumar Adapa on designing technical content for a voice experience. Now let me give a brief about him. Mr. Ravi is a senior information services engineer. He has been with CA Technologies for over 6 years with a total of 18 years of experience in the fields of writing, training, customer experience, team management, and project management. So he's going to speak on designing content experience. We are looking forward to his session. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. This session is primarily about how we can leverage the voice interfaces to basically improve the customer experience. One important part of our discussions, our documentation, what lies at the core of our documentation? Any quick thoughts, please? We write documentation for better customer experience. We want to ensure that the product usage gets better, simpler through the documentation, right? So all in all, at the core of our job lies improving the customer experience. Okay, that has been done by creating content all these years, and now it's been time to offer new ways of delighting the customer. So this session is going to cover how voice design experience can be created and how the technical content can be customized accordingly to work with the latest devices. How many of you have heard of Alexa, Siri? Okay, so these devices are not new actually. We have been using them on mobile, but seeing that there is a lot of traction from customers, the big companies, Microsofts, Amazons, Googles have been coming up with hardware devices. How many of you have actually used Amazon Echo? Okay, great. So I have actually brought Amazon Echo so that I can take you through how we have used. I mean, it is still in the making. It is still a demo version, I should say. How we have been using content to create enriching experiences. Right, before I begin, let me just test if Alexa is available or not. Alexa, are you available? Alexa, increase the volume to 5.
I'm totally cool with being single. Besides,
Okay, that's a good beginning. Alexa, are you connected? Alexa, how are you?
great. Ready to help.
Alexa, can you tell the audience what you can do? Alexa, how can you help?
You can tell me to turn up the volume, play music, create a to-do list, or look up a topic on Wikipedia. To find out more, check out the Things to Try page in the Alexa app.
Thank you. Okay, Alexa is available. Let's get started with the session now. Okay, some general understanding. What, according to you, is the best interface? Any thoughts, please?
Should be intuitive.
Okay, an interface that is intuitive, self-servicing, self-explanatory. Any thoughts? Easy to use. Okay, we have been so much in love with our touch phones, our keyboard, our mouse transactions, that our minds have been tuned to think that there has to be some interface to get the job done. This is the kind of thinking we have been tuned in. But let me ask you a simple question. How did we all, or how are we actually interfacing now? How are we interfacing? Is there a slide? Is there a web browser? Is there a menu? Is there a breadcrumb? Nothing, right? We are still interfacing, right? So, just to tell you, the best interface shouldn't have to be a web, shouldn't have to be an app, but the best interface is no interface actually. And this is not something I said. I read this interesting book by Golden Krishna, such an interesting name. He is the design strategist at Google. If you get a chance, do read the book. It talks about how for everything in life, we kind of got obsessed with creating interfaces. Right? One of the examples that he quotes to support that the best interface is no interface is, we all had the cars in 1910s, 1890s. Since then, have we seen any disruptive change in cars? Yes, please? Yeah, we increase the speed. Car by definition helps people in commute. Has that got changed? Has that got great? Yeah, automated. And how is that done? Through the touchpad technology, right? So, and let's talk about these typical smart TVs, smart refrigerators. Why do we call them smart? Because they have a touch panel, because they indicate the temperatures. So somehow we in the field of technology have been obsessed with creating digitalized interfaces that we can touch to get things done. And we are unfortunately calling that to be great innovation. And now, from that point, if I have to just take to the next step, I just told you how we are interfacing right now. I'll just ask you how we book a Uber ride. Let me just take a simple example. I'll run you through the steps actually. So your goal is to book a cab, right? That is your goal. In this voice technology chatbot world, it is called intent, right? So if my goal is to book a cab, what am I doing? I'll have to first take the phone out, wake it up, navigate through the sea of apps, then figure out where Uber or Ola is. After that, select the pickup location, the drop location. Just give me a second. I have it all sorted here. Look at how many steps we do. Don't you think this is all very cumbersome? Instead, Alexa, ask Uber to book a ride.
There is an Uber Go 4 minutes away from your Alexa address. Should I order it?
No, thank you. You got it?
Okay.
So,
would you like to hear more options?
you would get more of it. And I have been having this love-hate relationship with this lady Alexa. I was telling my friends, it's been very helpful, but you never know. It's like a true girlfriend. Which one, sir? That's not pink, that's red. Oh, yeah. Sir, I got it, sir. Good one. Okay, so let's understand. So if you have to get something done, we have somehow been habituated all these years. Okay, there were days when there was no interface at all. Just you have to type CMD or CUI was there. Then from there we evolved. There is GUI, and now we have something called VUI, Voice User Interface. And in the days to come, there won't be any interface, nothing. Your voice, just like how I speak to you, to convey a message, to get something done. If I need help, what do? I don't have to open an app, find contact, then find your WhatsApp contact. I need help. I don't do that. I'll rather say, hey, I need your help. Simple, straight. Okay. So some general understanding why we have been quite big with the speech technologies and with the voice user interfaces. Some general context let me set, because setting the context is very important, not just for this session but also for Alexa to work well. Okay, this is a general self-explanatory thing. If you can see, the last 5 to 7 years, there have been tremendous changes in the world of all the buzzwords that you have been listening to the whole day, the whole week. What's the buzzing word that you heard today in my session? Alexa. Great. Be quiet. Remember, I have muted it. Sir, that is pink because it's muted. Okay. If for some reason I haven't muted it, and if one of my neighbors is want to play a prank, he can just sneak through the window and shout, Alexa, and this Alexa being Alexa will respond, Alexa, sing a song. It will sing the song. There was a recent episode when I think something of this sort happened in US. Alexa wanted to have a party. It started playing all the party music loud. Okay, the police had to barge into the house to stop this, while all the members of the family are away. So the neighbors filed a nuisance case. So Alexa can be really smart in that matter. Okay, so the point I want to tell you is, speech, though had its origin, its beginning way back some lakhs of years. Once we have found these machines, we haven't been able to, in those days, I mean in say 70s, 60s, we were not really sure how we can talk to the machines. We didn't have a way to go. And there were hardware tweaks done initially to get things done, and slowly they have introduced the command line interface. Okay, so from there we evolved. But these days, why voice technology or natural language understanding has been in the buzz is because of 3 primary reasons. One, they are simple to use. Okay, if I have to type 1000 words, I will take maybe say 8 to 9 minutes. But if I have to say those 1000 words, I might just take maybe 2 to 3 minutes. 1000 is just a random number. Don't try to calculate. Okay, so speech. Oh yeah, you are calling for a trouble. Okay, so speech is a natural way to interface. Point number 1. And there is technology that is really evolving at a fast pace and at an easy to plug and play level. Okay, so thanks to these progress that we have had, we had all this progress. And the third reason I intentionally skipped, this is the third reason. All the biggies, you name it. There is a session happening, IBM Watson, right? So IBM is perhaps the pioneer in building the mother of artificial intelligence in 1960s itself. 60s, we are talking about, those were not the days of computers, those were not the days of servers, not the date of databases, but still that's the kind of vision they had in 60s. And Watson has evolved over these years into a completely smart, intelligent assistant. Not just assistant, it has evolved into a AI ecosystem. All that has been done by the modern companies like that were started in 80s, 90s, have their research rooted out of IBM Watson. Okay, so these are some general attention that you need to look at how the technology giants are working on. So the bots are the new apps. Let me just ask you, how many apps are used on a day-to-day basis? WhatsApp 1,000 times a day, Facebook 2,000 times a day. What else? Okay, Uber whenever you are not working from home. Great. So those are monthly ones kind of things. So yeah, she does her shopping every single day, every single hour. Great. Great. Thank you. That's just an example. Okay, the point I am trying to prove is, somehow, and it's not something I am saying, the trends about the app usage on a daily basis is going down. The trends that talk about the downloads happen on a daily, weekly, monthly basis are going down. So somehow, though we are so fond of these apps and all, subconsciously we are growing fatigue towards these apps. So in the days to come, maybe there will be just one interface, maybe one chat interface, can be voice, can be text, or can be a combination of both, which is called multimodal. We will talk about that later. Okay, so bots are going to be new apps, and this guy, how many, if you track these Cyber Sunday deals and all, very recently, I think 2 weeks back, there was a Cyber Sunday sale, Cyber Monday sale, I think. So one of the largest sold devices, can you guess? Fortunately, unfortunately, is Alexa. Okay, it's really fortunately for him. Okay, and I am sure in the days to come, right now I reserve my comments, in the days to come, it is really going to revolutionize the way we interface with apps, the way we do our daily transactions. I'll give you a simple example. I want to transfer, say I want to pay my Airtel bill. So what do? There are lots of apps that I can get the job done with, or I can simply say, Alexa, put my Airtel bill on auto pay. Job done once for lifetime. Okay. I'll give you a second to read this, please. This is the big thing. What if there is no touch? What if there are no gestures? Yeah, I think with the AI, NLU, that's the way to go, sir. You think and it will be done. You don't even have to say. I think I'm really scared of those days. You don't have to ask, sir. I'm scared, I said. Right? Okay, so let's get back to the stuff. how many of you typically type in for some address or some location? How many of you simply take your app, OK Google, OK Siri, right? So there is a recent report which studies the user behavior of how they are interfacing with especially search. It can be finding information, address or whatsoever. So over 200 billion voice searches are happening per month, and in the days to come they are expected to grow to 12,000 per month, 12,000 billion queries. And interestingly, like how Amazon has its Echo and Alexa, Google also has something called Google Home. It's like OK Google in a hardware. Siri that we use in the soft method will be sold as a separate entity calling HomePod. And very recently they launched these earbuds, right? Okay, just imagine the day those earbuds will have Siri embedded, phones are gone. Let's forget about touch. Phones themselves will become history. Yes, our obsession to visuals might save phone for a little long time, but that would eventually happen. There can be some other interface which would replace. So let me just give you the broad picture, the ecosystem of voice and chat interfaces. Just take a second. How many of you spend most of the time on Facebook, on WhatsApp? At least you will be doing 20 chats, 30 chats. I mean, since we are all senior citizens of the world, so we won't spend so much time like the college teens would. But still, these apps became so much part of our lives, so we keep using them quite frequently. Now, that's actually a starting point for chat interfaces. Facebook has launched its chat ecosystem called M. You saw the James Bond movie, right? James Bond reports to? Got it. So it's named M, shorter version for messenger basically. So what they are doing is, instead of creating Facebook group, Facebook page for the companies, they are trying to rather get companies directly converse with customers. How many of you use HDFC or Pizza Hut? Pizzas have been sold so many since morning. I think most chatbots have a reference to placing pizza orders, so many pizzas, and someone wants to buy 5 pizzas because there is a discount. Okay, so why? I mean, we just like we buy groceries, we buy a lot of stuff from Amazon. Imagine all of them are offered through WhatsApp, through Facebook Messenger. You don't need to even log into your account. Just go to your Facebook Messenger or a WhatsApp thing, simply type, this is what I want, send me by so and so date, and there will be responses like how we converse one-on-one. Okay, I will take you through how we design content also, like a dialogue. So anything that you would want me to discuss on, because there are so many things, that's all pretty self-explanatory. Anything? So basically, I think one is not covered. Bixby is a recent addition to this list by Samsung. Okay, that is their voice interface. Okay. So how is all this happening? I'll just give you one example. I am a complete non-techie. I am a core technical writer. Okay, if you ask me to write a line of code, I would say all I would see there is not Java language but English language. I am a pure non-techie, but I have been able to think, conceptualize, create and execute an idea all by myself, not because that I have spent so much time, I suddenly transformed into a techie guy, not so, because there is a wonderful ecosystem which helps you plug and play mechanism to create a chat or voice bots. Someone in the morning was asking about what is Louis. Just like IBM has its Watson, Google has its cloud platform. They have API.ai, which is recently renamed to Dialogflow. Okay, these are owned by different big corporations. Their job is to facilitate people like us, companies, to connect, to converse, and to get the job done. Okay. Yes. And one interesting point I want to make here is all of them are open source, not a single penny to be paid. You can try, test, validate, and if you have a breakthrough, maybe. If you want to roll it out to the general public, yes, that's when it becomes a paid offering. There is a freemium and premium offering. All of them are open source. I will talk about that. You don't really require great programming skills, but if you can know, how many of you do this API documentation, Swagger documentation, Docker documentation, then you are all capable of creating this.
No, but we only verify programming.
Exactly. How many of you use Postman to test JSON's API documentation? Yes. No, at some point we also would want to validate. We are rather forced to do that. Okay. So the point I am trying to make here is these tools are very easy to use, and they all have very rich, easy to use interfaces which can help you create the building blocks of voice or chat experience. We will talk about that. We have been talking great about AI, artificial intelligence, NLU and all, but at the core of all this, if Alexa is able to respond to my request, at the core lies the typical content. If your content is well written, well structured, well indexed, if you have your metadata properly organized, timely updated, we do all this, right? We have the metadata, we have the tags, we have the categories like using, administrating, troubleshooting, those guides that we take pride writing. All this is actually organized right now. What we need to do beyond going forward is to pool them into separate lots. The lots are also to some extent organized. User guide we already have. There are some personas, again that level we will have to get to. Personas, task based, scenario based. So I have some examples to show. So if your content is not properly structured, if you don't have a proper information architecture, your AI will not help at all. All these tools will just go wasted. So this is all you need. You need content, it has to have proper architecture, metadata, and yesterday there was a session on micro copy. There is a new trend which is catching up, micro content, creating small bubbles of content which are conversational by nature. So, the voice technology, some general understanding, easy to use, there is a human element involved and it is conversational. How many of you have seen this movie Her? The movie's name is Her. Did you watch this movie Castaway? Tom Hanks? So, who was his best friend while he was castaway? The basketball. Wilson. And you know, you can relate to the tears that Tom Hanks would have when Wilson leaves him. You can relate to that. So, Her also is an interesting movie. When you get time, do watch it. So, basically the point I want to make is we are getting attached to these artificial intelligent devices and assistants. So, yeah, those are the days in store for us. Another limitations, please. I do not say this is like cure for all, this is going to be the future. This has its own limitation. Through graphic user interface, the complex things can be accomplished easily through step by step process. But with voice, that retentionability, the memorability, the learnability that we discussed yesterday in interaction design session. So, those factors are gone for a toss. So, you have to use voice very selectively. First, choose the right type of content that you would want to create voice experience and then create it properly. Not all content would be suitable for voice experience. Let us understand that. Any questions here with these statements? People can speak a lot faster than they type. They can listen much more slowly than they read. They can talk much more quickly than they can listen. If you have any questions on that, we will take it offline. So, this is where things start actually. Where do I start? How can I embed it into my content? Can it be delivered as part of documentation, as part of product? How? So, the best part with this is you do not need to waste any support time or effort or cost to get the job done, to address a customer issue. You have voice assistants to get the job done quickly without any human intervention. And the primary reason why companies are adopting is it is going to drastically improve the customer experience, at least by 10x. Okay. Time for the demo. Alexa, launch demo.
I found a few matches. Do you mean domain information or domain master?
Alexa, exit.
I'm not sure what went wrong.
Alexa, goodbye.
I had a good time. Come back soon.
You always do. You always do. Alexa, ask demo.
Hi, welcome to Demo Digital. I am your product experience assistant. For a list of commands anytime, you can say ask Demo Digital.
Thanks. I need help with one of the CA products.
Undefined.
I need help with one of the CA products.
Undefined.
Alexa, help.
Good. You have reached the last step of installation. You can start the service from installer itself.
Alexa, introduce authentication.
Thanks. That is one of the most popular CA products. The latest version of this product is 9.0. Would you like to install?
Yes, please.
Great. Let's get started with the pre-installation steps.
Tell me about the first step.
For AA 9.0, you need to have Java 1.8 and an application server installed before you start with the installation. The available application server options are Tomcat, WebLogic, JBoss, and WebSphere. Do you need any help to install them?
No, I'll install them myself.
I'm sending the version support details to your app. Let me know if you need any help.
No problem. I'll do it.
Let me know once you're done.
Alexa, I am done with that.
Now, you need to set up a database server. The available options are MS SQL and Oracle.
I'll go with Oracle.
Happy to help.
Alexa, I'll go with Oracle.
What goes up and never comes down? Your age.
That's Alexa for you. And she will respond now.
Try saying Alexa and you'll find out.
Alexa, launch demo. It is still learning.
Hi, welcome to Demo Digital. I am your product experience assistant. For a list
Alexa,
of commands.
I'll go with Oracle.
Remember two important steps while configuring Oracle DB. First, set the character set AL32 UTF-8 and second, create a user in the database with required privileges. I am sending you the details through the app.
Alexa, I have configured the database.
Great. Let's get started with downloading the Advanced Authentication 9.0 installer.
Sure. Can you tell me the location to download?
You can download the installers from CA support site. I have sent you the link to download installation packages to the app. You may select the files based on your OS and environment. You need to unzip the installation package and run the installer. For example, CA Strong Authentication 9.0.0 Windows Installer.x. Let me know when you see welcome screen.
Alexa, I am on the welcome screen.
Awesome. Click Next and accept the terms and conditions and proceed with default installation location and installation type. The available options are custom and complete.
I'll go with complete.
Okay, in the next screen, select Oracle as your database based on your pre-installation choice. I am sending the required database configuration details to your app with examples. Please enter the details based on your configuration and test the connectivity. Let me know if you need any help.
Alexa, the details are entered.
Sure. Let me know once you're done.
Oh, my test connectivity failed.
That's bad. I can help you debug and fix this error. Take a minute to check your credentials first.
Credentials are correct, but the error persists.
That's very bad. Please check if database server is up and running.
Amazing, Alexa. I have made the DB server up and running now.
That's awesome. You are a quick learner. You need to now configure encryption mechanism. You can go with the default master key. Remember, you can change this key anytime and the key info is stored in securestore.inc.
I'll go with the default master key.
Good. You can set the encryption through software mode or hardware security module. Which module you want to use to encrypt the data?
I'll select software.
Great. Proceed to initialize database scripts now. You can initialize database automatically or manually. To automatically initialize the database, select the Initialize Primary DB option.
Let me go with automatic option.
Cool. Simply check the selection and proceed to bootstrapping. Bootstrapping is now embedded in the wizard to simplify the onboarding experience. Bootstrapping helps you to set the default master admin password, global key label, and default organization configuration.
Alexa, any quick advice here?
Undefined.
Alexa, any quick advice here?
Now, you need to set up a database server. The available options are MS SQL and Oracle.
Alexa, I need advice to get started.
Sure. Bootstrapping must be performed only once for all the components. If have performed bootstrapping tasks in CA Strong Authentication, the installer wizard does not prompt for the following bootstrapping steps during the CA Risk Authentication installation. Specify the master admin password, global key label, and default organization configuration.
Sure, I am done with all the 3 steps.
Now, you need to set up a database server. The
Alexa,
available options.
all the 3 steps are complete.
You can download the installers from CA support site. I have sent you the link to download installation packages to the app. You may select the files based on your OS and environment.
Alexa,
You need to unzip the installation package and run the install.
Alexa,
For example,
start the service.
happy to help.
Good. You have been helpful. Goodbye. Alexa, goodbye.
Bye for now.
Thank God. So, something, some expectations to be set here. This is a live demo actually. It's not recorded. It's coming straight from the cloud. Okay. I have created intents, slots, conversation, flow, everything. Sometimes what happens is, Alexa has its own brain. So, it based on your inputs, it would quickly read. Suppose you are saying, Alexa, I have entered details. So, your emphasis is there on details. But Alexa may take based on the string or phrase that you have input, it would have a brain of its own and will throw something else. So, the point in such cases, we have to have that graceful exit. It should also give us scope to repeat, say what again, is that what you are looking for? It should be confirming the things. So, in order to design a very good experience, just take a minute. It can be any context. The context can be the one that you have just experienced. It is complete installation of an enterprise product, a security product, which involves lot of configuration, lot of integration with third-party database devices, identity issues, lot of stuff has to be connected. So we just saw the installation step. Maybe you can think of say a troubleshooting or any other context. And all you need to do as writers, you have to design this conversational flow. Is it audible? Yeah, we are short of time. I'll take your question once we wrap up. So it's just like, you know, writing a script or a dialogue, what you would say, what Alexa would respond. So I just tried 2 use cases in this. I tried to cover the entire onboarding of one product installation, and I also tried to cover some troubleshooting also. It is stuck somewhere and it would offer help to debug. So you would say my credentials are correct, but still I am facing this error. Then Alexa, you know, debugs the problem for you, and it suggests maybe this is where you have a problem, you go check. So the 2 use cases are complete happy flow, end-to-end installation, end-to-end feature usage. The other one is the troubleshooting. Whenever there is some fix, some broken element, it can be an error message also. Alexa, I see error 808. Okay, then Alexa would come back with a response. This error is connected to this device, this parameter. Maybe go check this. Not just it would read out the problem, it would also give you a context, the symptom of the problem, and also the solution. So the larger frame of things, if you see, organizations will be greatly benefited by creating better customer experience, right from the buyer's journey to customer journey, user's journey. I hope you understand the difference between buyer's journey and the user's journey, right? So it covers all the use cases or the pain points of customers, and it provides the right kind of help, right kind of answers at the right point of time, and without much hassle. So voice experience is all about, you know, channel ubiquity, no interface connection, experience enhancement. And someone has some feedback about your documentation, you can probably say, Alexa, how is this document doing? Or let's take a simple example. Whenever we go to More or some kind of supermarket, there is this feedback thing. So just imagine they will replace those devices with, you know, good, very good, and all the parameters 0 to 10 scale. They would just have this Alexa or Google Pod or whatsoever. What's your feedback? How would you rate the experience? I would rate it 6, 7, 8. So that experience will become a lot easier. So what you need to do is this. You have to identify which sections of the content can be suitable for a good voice experience. Please remember, not all content would be suitable, especially the installation and upgrade, because they are genuinely the biggest pain areas for customers when you talk about on-prem enterprise product installations. SaaS products are a different use case. They would be rather easy to offer solutions, offer suggestions for improving the feature usage. So also another point you should remember is you are not writing for eyes, you are writing for ears. So keep your content very simple and small, just like how you would talk to a friend. So some general information to cover. Alexa is typically the wake word, just like how OK Google is. There is invocation name. I was asking for launch demo, ask demo. Okay, that's the invocation name. Then introduce my session, or the various steps like db config, etc., etc. They are all individual intents, a small niche goal that you want to accomplish. There is another thing that I wanted to introduce. The intent is fine. There is a fourth one, that is slot. So slot is typically it typically offers a lot of customization. When we talk to Uber, your location, based on the city, based on the app, location that your app has, it would automatically pick that up. So just give it a second, please. Any questions here?
Yeah, actually, before we ask questions to Alexa, so I just want Neevu Thomas 1 minute to give this token of appreciation to Mr. Vijay Singh because he'll be leaving now. So just 2 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. A big round of applause, please. Yeah. Now questions for Alexa. I'm sorry, Mr. Ravi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
How good is the NLP that's inbuilt in Alexa?
I have used the lambda function, which is the serverless thing.
Okay.
The AWS has its own NLP inbuilt to lambda, and I have created Alexa skill, which again comes up with inbuilt NLP and AI tools. So my role was actually to customize the flow. Okay, so there are some pre-designed template Alexa skills that I have leveraged to create this experience. If you have to create from the scratch, you need technical expertise, you need coding experience, and even while creating this, there were a lot of debugging issues. There were errors that as writer I couldn't fix. I took my colleagues' help to fix them.
Okay.
So basically, the bottom line is there are templates to be leveraged, which come with all the general setup.
And these are free templates that you can use?
These are all free to use,
Okay.
open source.
Okay. And how good is the understanding of context? So when I say context, I mean, right, if you're asking one question and you're 3-4 steps inside, right, how well does it follow that flow of thought? And for example, at some place when you said ask details, it kind of lost, it said undefined. Right. How does it get back to that point in the conversation?
Right. So that is where your utterances would play a role. There are two parts actually here. One is utterance, the other one is state management. State management will again cover two things. One is context, the other one is session timing. Session time start is the beginning of the context. Session time end is an indication that you can move from context 1 to context 2. So if you can manage the sessions, states of the sessions, that is how you can stay in one particular context and do multiple procedures. It is still evolving. Yeah, you saw it had issues. So state management is something that would require coding expertise.
Sorry, one follow-up question on the NLP. You said you use something inbuilt. How good is that? I mean, if, for example, one of the statements that you made, right, if I were to ask it a little differently, would it still understand that?
Right. So the next slide actually talks about so if you have your utterances anticipated, what kind of utterances your customer would have, if you can anticipate, and if your utterances are very rich in terms of text, so it would be automatically capturing the different expressions that different customers will use.
So you need to manually feed in the different possible utterances, right?
Yes.
How good? So does it stick strictly to the 10 or so utterances you defined, or does it have enough intelligence to kind of?
So initial intelligence will come from us. Initial intelligence. It in itself is like a just born. It knows nothing. It has to be fed. What you get is what you feed. Okay. So the point here is, I'll just give one example. Ask demo, launch demo, start my demo. So I have fed all these different expressions. So if my friend is using, his expression would be different. Just like that, my installation is successful. I would say installation is successful. Someone else would say it's complete, it's over. So there are ways and means to input the synonyms to particular words.
And if it's a synonym that you didn't anticipate, would it still get it, or?
I think you have to design it, sir. Basically, the first copy has to be perfect. Of course, you can evolve it, iterate and improve. It has its own language library which would map a particular word to its synonyms, but that can happen only over a period of time, not initially. This voice bot is barely 14-16 days old, okay, and it exactly behaved like a 16 days old. Okay, maybe when we meet next time, it would be a better person. Okay, Alexa would be really smart. It said it had good time, right? We can also say I had good time too.
Yeah,
So
actually,
one last thing, please, just go through this. This scenario is actually captured in the conversation, the debugging situation that I gave. Any questions, please? So at the core is your structured, tagged, categorized content. Any questions, please, here? 16, this diagram or this one? 16 days. Sweet 16. She will become 18 after 2 days. Actually, sir, I told you that I am a non-techie. I was under the impression that I wouldn't ever be able to create a skill like this. But then last month there was Alexa Developers Day happened in Bangalore. So I came all the way from Hyderabad, and it's worth my time. I spent 2 quality days understanding what is Alexa, how to build a skill, what are the building blocks of a skill, how a state can be managed, how language library is organized. It was very intense, targeted for developers. So my initial impression that I would not be able to code has changed after attending the session. Yes, I am still able to leverage only the available templates, but they are good enough.
I think all the married men would have appreciated that mute functionality. And all the women would appreciate, how Alexa likes to be talked to with very polite. He said, when he asked for the Uber app, he asked,
Alexa, book, ask Uber
he asked,
to.
yeah, please, and no, thank you,
Please be very, very good with your P's, S's.
Okay.
Please, sorry, thank yous. PSTs.
The other thing I see there, application is for OCD people, right? Obsessive compulsive disorders. Because you're not touching anything. You say, Alexa, open the door. Alexa, shake hands with that person. Flush the toilet.
That day is not too far, Nibu. Yeah, right now it's not available, but you can customize. And I am sure you wouldn't use your wife's name, I know. Okay, just some brief summary. This is what we discussed. Any questions probably we can take outside, right?
thank you so much, Mr. Ravi. Yeah.
You can tweet about what you felt about the session. That's my Twitter handle. You can use the hashtag also. Alexa, clap for friends.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Alexa, clap.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ravi. I would like to call Mr. Neevu Thomas to give away this memento. Mr.
Alexa,
Ravi.
thank you for being kind today.
Thank you, Alexa.
So you want to give it to Alexa?
A big round of applause, please.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.